Man in the Big Green Hat. I'm here at Pickwick Landing State Park, kind of south central Tennessee. You're where Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi all kind of join together. Beautiful lodge or whatnot. There's a 3-mile trail that leads out to an island, past some other little interesting things. It's mostly just a good walk in the woods. Sometimes we all need a good walk in the woods. Let's go see what we can find. First, a little bit of this stays close to the road, it seems. Eventually we'll get out further into the woods. It's beautiful, tall pines here, mature forest. So, these aren't just random piles of rocks. These are the remnants of the cabinets the Civil Conservation Board stayed in when they constructed some of the structures here. See lots of pieces of metal and stuff around. See all the stone stacked there. The camp is situated by a really nice stream here. I don't know if it was flowing yet. Kind of leads into the backwaters at Pickwick Lake. Mosquitoes are something else today. Something else. Pretty little spot. Looks like a nice enough little spot to get off trail here for a second. Down to the water's edge. So you can kind of really see out. Oh, what a beautiful place this would be to kayak. Oh yeah. Necessarily new evidence. There's definitely some evidence of some beaver friends around. I'd love to see some of them. I've been looking in the mud for tracks. I haven't found anything yet. Maybe I'll get lucky and find one. Beautiful little bend in this stream. There's cardinal flower in bloom. Winds on around up to that bridge, looks like. This huge tree that fell. I just missed this bridge. Little one wouldn't have quite been so lucky, considering the age that's on this wood. I wonder how long ago that tree fell. That's an interesting little creek to me. Look at all this water flowing. There's some little fish down there. You know I'm thinking about waterfalls here. That was Slate Block Creek, and apparently it goes under the park road up that way a little ways, and any waterfalls will be much further on up. Not worth getting off trail here. Beautiful revolving waves coming in from the lake, backwater area. Side spur up to the campground. We're staying on the main loop here. We may end up having to use that to come back to make it a true loop though. Taking a little social trail, spur down. I'll keep you another little side trail done. I'm never going to finish this thing, but this looks like it has a pretty good view of the lake. It may be the marina here in Pickwick Landing. I was right. It's a nice spot. Lots of boats out on the water today. Kind of got another four-way here. That's where I came from. Got a little social trail going down to the lake. There's another little trail going up to the cabins. Campground, I'm sorry, rather. Continues the island loop straight ahead. Who can resist a little side jaunts for long, you know? Once with the mud, I was kind of hoping to see some tracks of some kind. Nothing doing here. This will be beautiful in the fall. The colors change. Already starting to get hints of that now. Interesting this little spot is. I pan around. All that green. Wow. Interesting bit of history about the area. You ever wondered where the name Pickwick came from? Charles Dickens wrote a novel called The Pickwick Papers, originally published in the mid-1830s, a series of monthly magazine installments. This area's first postmaster was so fond of the novel, he named the post Pickwick in honor of it, and then the town became Pickwick Landing. For once, I'm going to hike this clockwise. I tend to hike a lot of stuff counterclockwise instead. So far, it's been about what I've expected. Nice, mostly quiet walk in the woods. A lot of mature trees. Open woods at that. So you can see off a bit. Really get a good view of the landscape. Photo of the little guy. There's all these teeny tiny little frogs hopping along through the woods here as I've been hiking. Artifact from days gone by. This is one of the remaining cisterns from the old home sites that used to be here. Can you imagine digging this by hand? Not something you want to tumble down into, that's for sure. I'm about to get down to the point where in high water spot through here would almost essentially be flooded. The sparrow that's come up here. See the wash mark here, at least this high. And then this becomes the island. Well, you can't see it. The vegetation's kind of obscured. There's a boat ramp on the other side of the lake here. And if you stood in this spot as early as the year 1847 and looked toward it, your view would be interrupted by the White Sulphur Springs Hotel and Resort. When they built the reservoir, the dam, it all flooded, or it had burned in the Civil War at that. that used to not be water. And that's really one thing that's always fascinated me about lakes and reservoirs and that kind of thing, is that it's not natural, at least to the scale, not here. I always wonder what the landform, the landscape looked like beforehand. Or I do anyway. So I was wrong. This is the loop part that goes back. The island, or the part of that would be the island, is this way. I'll take this little social trail out here. So you can see the dam itself. See how muddy the water is. Had a tremendous amount of rain here last month or so, and this area is been under a flood warning. We'll get more rain moving in tonight, actually. Beautiful view. Let's see if we can make our way out to the island or something. There's tons and tons of shells. Water mussels. There's waves behind me touching by. What are those shells? So this naturally is where the island would be. This would be the part that's underwater. This makes a little more sense than what I was seeing back there. It just might make sense to line up. It's obvious this little rock art, this whole thing for flood. Quite a little swampy area on this side. And the waves from the boats and whatnot pushing and building this rock bar on the other. Now this would be a cool walk-in inside for me. The edge here. Oh, look at the cypress tree. Well, let's go around. A little bit bigger waves coming in here, but I'm stopping. Look at tiny little white plumes on the cypress tree. I've never noticed them to have white plumes before. There's a whole little growth here. Beautiful cypress. Now we're in a sandy little spot. I love that piece of driftwood. Nice. It looks just a little weedy up in here. We made it this far. Oh look, thorough work. Ain't turning that now. Let's see what this holds. Well, it is no surprise to me to find a fire ring out here. I would have been shocked if I didn't. Honestly. Interesting little striations in that rock. Huh. Probably all kind of little fossils and marine stuff out here that I just don't know about. There's certainly a bit of high ground. Yeah, once the streams look, I suppose it wouldn't stand a chance. And, cool. We'll walk down to the edge here. Down to the edge of the lake. Should be a great view of the dam. Maybe even the marina, depending on how this is the angles. It's beautiful. Oh, mature trees through here. I'll have to take pictures before I leave. Take a look at this old pine, for example. one of the little navigational buoys broken off and washed up here during the flood. You can see toward the center of the picture there. There's another one of the buoys. Kind of marks the safe passage of the waterway get out into the lake itself. Here's the dam. Bridge over it. Way high up over it in the air. Pretty neat. Pretty interesting. Well, I walked around the small island a bit. Not a whole lot else to report or to see. That spot up there, the dam, was about the only great lookout spot. And heading toward the main trail now. Saw something off to the side. Decided to check it out on the way back. And there's a trailer, whatever trailer. Still got one tire attached to it. Some old kind of raft of some kind. It's almost clear in here. All of these trees are just wonderful. Look at the stretch. Absolutely wonderful. Now we're back to that spot. Past the little cistern again, but I didn't feel the need to video it. So we'll see the other side of the lake, and maybe there's a few little opportunities over there to get down close to the water too. A little more history on the dam and the reservoir, and it kind of touches on what I was mentioning earlier about things being flooded. This was the second dam built by the TVA along the Tennessee River, and 506 families, in addition to cemeteries, utility lines, roadways, and farms, had to be relocated, protected, or flooded. Built, so it was finished in 1940. This doesn't necessarily scream sinkhole to me. This almost screams just something man-made. It's not a cistern. Could this have been an old pond or something dug and used for some reason? We're just uphill from the conjunction of two intermittent streams, and not far from the lake's edge itself. The ridge is just up there. Quite an interesting little feature here. Probably 20 feet across. I noticed the stack of stones and this old wire. This was likely a grave site. There's another round depression there too. Walking along the trail there and stopped for a drink to notice this giant foam thing, and all those logs were kind of laying in a weird pattern. That ain't no log. It's a dock that is washed down river. Or perhaps it existed here, I'm not sure. There's a ton of lumber here. There's tons, even more out there. What's this? hear it creaking. It's just all littered back up in here. Wow. More down there too. Hard to think if it was anchored here and used for anything. And it certainly didn't exist when the home site stood. Way too recent. This has been wedged enough here with that old chunk of log. Or is that styrofoam? That's an old chunk of styrofoam. That rooted and sprouted mixture of sweet gum trees and other things that have been growing there for years, obviously. Its own little floating island, its own little ecosystem. Sycamores, the oaks, blackflies, and the other styrofoam parts over there. Fascinating. That white dock used to be called Hardin County Dock, and it was used by the Packaging Corporation of America. It's kind of a loading station for timber processing facilities. You'll notice that there's a certain smell. You do visit Pickwick Landing State Park, and you know that right as you're coming over the bridge, and that is from the timber processing facility nearby. Thanks for coming along on this little adventure, folks. Hope you've enjoyed all the little sights and sounds and the detached dock and the island and what few wildflowers we found and whatnot, mushrooms. Some days you just need a good walk in the woods. Until next time, keep exploring and stay wild.